Hello, hello, everyone. We are back. We are back. Oh my goodness, this has been so amazing. It's so phenomenal. And so we get to conclude the day one first sessions on a high note with Dr. Karen Hills Pruden. Make sure as you come in, you share, share, share. I'm super excited. Dr. Karen Hills Pruden is my aunt. She is an amazing inspiration. She is a woman leading well as a Christian leader, influencer, thought leader in the marketplace. And I am so honored to be connected to her in a way that she is a part of my family. I know that today is going to be absolutely amazing as she releases what God gave her in regards to being a leader and taking off for the rest of this year and in 2022, because we are positioning ourselves to be set up to accelerate into this next year. And so I'm super excited because I know Dr. Karen Hills Pruden is about to drop some wisdom, some nuggets, some gems on us on today. So without any further delay, I bring to you Dr. Karen Hills Pruden. Hello.
Hi, I'm excited. I am so excited to be here. And so let's just get right into it. I am excited about this theme. It's time to take off. And so what I want you to do is, in terms of taking off, what are we taking off? I know taking off can be propelling, but what about things that we need to take off? Take off our mind, take off our emotions. And so what about worry? Philippians 4:6 says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. What about taking off fear? What about fear? 2 Timothy says, 1:7 says, for the spirit God gave us does not make us timid. And so, but gives us power, the ability to influence, love, and self-discipline. So let's take off fear. So you got rid of worry and you got rid of fear. What about taking off mistrust? Psalms 25:1 says it well and short and succinct. In you, Lord, my God, I put my trust. It is that simple. So let's talk about the things that we are taking off our mind: worry, fear, mistrust. And so powerhouses this year, I think about the quote from Lisa Nichols where she says, change your thoughts to change your life. Isn't that powerful? Change your thoughts to change your life. And so that's why we need to get worry and fear and mistrust off our minds. And, my mantra is no excuses, make it happen. But to make things happen, we have to let things go, right? And so today I want to talk to you about how to prepare, pivot, and lead with confidence. And that is for the remainder of 2021 and going into 2022. How to prepare, pivot, and lead with confidence. And so, yes, it is time to take all of those things off your mind that do not serve you well. And so let's look at the word off. Off means to, get away from a place in question, at a distance. Off means to be removed or separated. Off means to start a journey or a race or simply leaving. Off means to bring to an end or to discontinue. And so want you to discontinue, bring to an end, leave behind in 2021 and 2022 worry, fear, and mistrust. And I want you to tap into your confidence. And so a few of you may know my story, so I'm not going to talk much about it. I'm just going to go through it very quickly. I was a teenage bride, married 2 months out of high school, had 3 children. What at that time was the love of my life, 3 children in 3 years, only to find myself divorced a little later. And so I know a little bit about lacking confidence at a period in my life, and Dr. Willie Jotty, He says a setback is a setup for a comeback. And so I want you to think about a time when you did not feel confident. We've all been there. We've all had those momentary thoughts. Sometimes they last a little longer than a moment, but I want you to zero in on at least one specific time. And I want you to type no excuses in the chat when you have it in your mind, because I want you to think about that time as we talk about how to prepare, pivot, and lead with confidence. And although you may have been out of that realm now, I want to think about how you could have did something different, how you could have done something differently. And so the first thing you need to do to prepare, pivot, and lead with confidence is the first action you need to do is conduct a personal SWOT analysis on yourself. Yes, a SWOT on yourself. And so for those of you who've never heard of a SWOT, it's your strengths, it's your weaknesses, it's your opportunities, and your threats. A lot of people associate that with a business, but you can also associate that with yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses, the things that you need to work on? What are your opportunities, and what are your threats? For me, I was responsible for 3 human beings, 3, 2, and 1 at one point in my life, and I wanted to go to college and needed daycare. What strengths can you build on? We all have strengths. Yes, you have strengths. So 2 Samuel 22:33 says, "It is God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure." And so I want you to think about, what strengths do you have? And I want you to put that on your list in your head. But let's talk about weaknesses. What weaknesses can you overcome, and how will you overcome them? Weaknesses aren't necessarily a bad thing. So think about, what weaknesses can you overcome, and how can you overcome them? And then opportunities. What opportunities can you seize to create or to enhance your ability to be successful? We often don't see opportunities when they're right in front of us. And so we have to evaluate the time, the effort, and the money sometimes that is needed to take advantage of opportunities. We have to make a decision. Are we ready to take advantage of the opportunities that are before us? And then I also want you to consider potential threats to you being successful. What potential threats are you facing? Are there outside factors that are limiting your potential? Are you limiting your potential because of worry, because of fear, because of mistrust? And so I want you to think about how you are impacting your success. And then those outside factors that may be limiting your potential, think about ways to minimize, the impact of any type of threats that you think are out there, whether it's financial, whether it's time, whether it's prioritizing, do you need education? Do you need credentials? Do you need to shift things around in your life so you can have more time to do those things that will serve you and your family well? Do you need certifications, to help you in your business, to help you in your career, to move forward? You can change the perception that people have about your skills by intentionally working on developing those skills. Just because something is a weakness today does not mean that it's your weakness forever. Just because something is a threat today does not mean that it stays a threat in your life forever. You can change that. Remember my story. At one time in my life, I was a high school graduate, recently divorced, with 3 children, 3, 2, and 1. And those children had to be factored into every decision in my life. To some, that was a weakness. Yes, it was. And some, nowadays, for some of you, you may have children and people may view that as a weakness, but it is a momentary weakness. It's all in how you view it. So then you have to turn that weakness into an opportunity. And in my case, I had a mother-in-law who happened to love her grandchildren, who happened to be my children. And so God made her one of my allies. And I'm like a lifetime worth of gratefulness in regards to that. But who in your life can serve as an ally to help you turn your weakness into an opportunity, and to turn your opportunity into a strength? Do you see how one thing can morph into something else? It's all in how you look at it and how you put forth the work in order for that conversion to happen. You know, distractions, distractions show up in both your personal and your professional life. And sometimes they show up at the same time. And so you have to look at them as momentary situations, those that do not serve you well. Those instances that do not serve you well, they are a blip on your successful path to where it is that you want to go. And so your distractions may be very, very different from mine. Your distractions may involve debt for some people, and it may be preventing you from maybe buying a house or maybe a car or even investing in your business. Maybe you did not complete a degree. You were in the process of doing a degree, but maybe you did not complete a degree. And so that could be an issue as well. Whatever it is, you must confront the chaos, distractions, and make the choice to deal with it so that you can realize your goals. You have to have confidence that you can help convert your weaknesses into opportunities so that they can morph into strengths, so that they will no longer threaten your success. So after I conducted a personal SWOT analysis on myself, once I became a recent divorcee with 3 small children, I had to then prepare to pivot. So once you realize where you are, what you're working with, you have to have a mindset of I'm going to pivot. And so let's talk about preparing to pivot. And so at that time in my life, that brief time in my life, I was a full-time mother, full-time college student with a full-time job with 3 small children. And I was up late at night doing homework. Some nights I never even went to sleep at all. And I kind of reflect on what I call my forever president, Barack Obama. He said, change will not come if you wait for some other person or if you wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. That is powerful. That means that we have to do something. We have to remove ourselves from certain situations. We have to separate ourselves from certain situations. Remember that definition of off? We have to leave certain situations. We have to start a journey towards our prosperity and towards our success, towards our goals, towards our entrepreneurship, towards that promotion in corporate America. We need to discontinue some things. We need to put other things in place so that we can be successful. We all have different situations. Regardless, we all have to adjust. I had to adjust, and you may have to adjust. And so what do you need to prepare to pivot and lead with confidence? And so there are 3 keys to leading with confidence that I want to talk about quickly. The first is progressions. You do not have to do everything all at the same time. You do not have to go from 0 to 100 at the same time. Progressions with the S simply means layering your skills over time so that you develop a deeper level of refinement. For instance, no one goes from being an associate to an executive all in the one promotion. No, you go from being an associate to a senior associate, to a manager, to a senior manager, to an executive. And along the way of that progression, you gain skills that are going to serve you well in the next position. And so your priority is to layer your skills. Keep building on your skills. Be a lifetime learner so that you develop a deeper level of refinement, a deeper understanding, a more in-depth knowledge of what it is that you want to pursue, whether it's in entrepreneurship or whether it's in corporate America. The next thing you need to do is practice. Now, practice is a common word that we are all very familiar with. We've been told practice makes things perfect. Practice truly does help us improve. If you routinely practice something, the likelihood of you doing it better or sometimes doing it at a higher level is great, because you will learn what works for you and what works for the success of the activity that you are pursuing. And so don't shortchange practice. So that is the next key to success: practice. And your third key to success in terms of leading with confidence is presentation. In order to lead with confidence, yes, you need to practice. As your skills improve, you will become more confident. Confident leaders are not invisible leaders. So you also need to know how to communicate your expertise. And so leading with confidence requires self-trust. You need to know what you know, what you know, what you know. Trust that you know what you know. And then you must look and you must act and speak with self-assurance. Be confident when you speak the things that you know. And then you need to be consistent. Successful people are consistent. They aren't bleeps on the radar. They are very, very consistent. Everything you do is part of your personal brand. Don't get it twisted. Your website is not your brand. Your business card is not your brand. Your tagline is not your brand. You are your brand. Even if you work in corporate America, you have a brand in corporate America. What are the results do you generate? If people can articulate what results you generate, that is part of your brand. What have you known for? And then I want you to watch your self-talk. Self-talk has power. Power is the ability to influence. Self-talk can influence you, yourself. Your words can influence yourself. So I want you to use confident words to help clarify your belief in yourself. Make your self-talk kind of action-oriented. You know, that's very, very, very helpful. If you say, I am going to finish whatever it is, fill in the blank. So make it action-oriented. And then practice positive self-talk. Self-talk in your car. Self-talk in the shower. Self-talk in your mind. But negative words undermine your self-assurance. And so I want you to remove any negative words that you have. I think about an actor who I am very fond of his work, and that is Denzel Washington. And Denzel says, luck is when opportunity comes along and you are prepared for it. And that's why preparing and pivoting and leading with confidence is so critical, because when those opportunities present themselves in the entrepreneur sphere or whether it's in corporate America, you want to have the confidence to step up to that opportunity, knowing that you have prepared and you have practiced for that opportunity. How crazy would it be to have an opportunity that you've been waiting your whole life come along and you don't have the confidence to step up to it? And so in closing, I want to reiterate: prepare, pivot, lead with confidence by conducting a personal SWOT analysis. Again, that is your strengths, that is your weaknesses, that is your opportunities, and that is your threat. And then once you've done that analysis, I want you to prepare for the pivot, and then progressions, practice, and presentation. Powerhouses 2021. This is still your year, and 2022 is still your year. No excuses. Make it happen. I am Dr. Karen Hills Pruden.
Wow, I love it. That was so amazing. I love that so much. The SWOT analysis, we were all like, woo, prepare a SWOT analysis on ourselves. That is so needed and necessary so that we continue to do what we know we're supposed to be doing. Because we have to know what's in us and are we operating in it? Or in it or in us, or then also it made me think of, well, what are my weaknesses and what am I doing about those weaknesses? Instead of just saying, hey, that's a weakness, what am I doing about it? And then I love that you gave us those 3 keys. I love it. Progression, practice, and presentation. That was so powerful, because when we are shifting to take off, we do have to prepare, we do have to be willing to pivot, and we have to lead with confidence. And even how you began, Dr. Pruden, with what we need to take off, not just propelling forward, but you switched it up on us. What needs to fall off? That fear, that worry, that anxiety. And so many of us deal with that. But in order for us to go where God is really trying to take us, we have to make sure certain things come off of us as we move forward. So that was so good. That was so good. So, Dr. Pruden, please share with them how they can connect with you after this time together today.
Absolutely. You can find me on all social media. I have a community called the Sister Leaders Community. And it's just not just for sisters. It's also for male ambassadors, men who are committed to seeing women succeed in the marketplace as well as corporate America. And so, but you can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on all social media as well. And so we would love to have you and come on and let's share our experiences with one another and watch each other elevate and hold each other accountable for the things that we say that we want.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Dr. Carrie Hills Pruden. I appreciate you and I love you so much. I love you so much. Definitely get connected with the Sister Leaders community. There are women from all different types of background who are leading. And Dr. Karen Hills Pruden, her conference in October, oh my goodness, was absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. So you don't want to miss all the great things that she will be releasing and doing when it comes back up again. So Dr. Pruden, again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. Oh my goodness, I could cry right now. The first day has been absolutely exceptional. It has been amazing. We have received the practical. We have received impartation. We have received revelation. We have received so much on today. So make sure you continue to share, and we will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. again, And guess what? Tonight and today, it's not over, because at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, doors opening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us in Chesapeake, Virginia. You do not want to miss Destiny Inspire. You also don't want to miss our amazing worship leader. Worship is about to be phenomenal. Charity Lyons, aka Yanni Amore, is going to be back with us, leading us in a time of worship. And if you were at Fanning the Flames Experience, the workshop in September, and how worship went forth, you are in for a treat. You are in for a treat on tonight as she goes forth in worship for us once again. I am expecting a powerful move of God, more impartation, and more language for this next level and this next season. Y'all, we are taking off. And Dr. Karen Hills Pruden showed us there are some things that can't go where we're going. So we're going to take that off, but we're also going to propel forward in our takeoff in this new season. God bless you. Hopefully, I see you tonight. But if not, be back tomorrow morning. God bless you. I love you all so much. And I will see you all very, very soon. God bless.